Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of Blue Book MKE, and the creator of the Let's Level Up Your Business 5-Day Challenge. And I want to go over something with you that I kind of thought about when I was driving into work, because one of the things that I do that maybe other business coaches don't do, or they're not experienced in doing, is that I look at the thought processes of individuals. When I think about what allowed me to become successful, allowed me to go from one level to another level to another level, when I really evaluate what the difference was, it was my thinking, my thought process. And one of the things that I did early in my life, and that I still pay close attention to today, is when I wake up in the morning, I automatically start to program. I don't want to say program. I start to, and for lack of a better word, I start to manipulate my own thinking. That means that I don't allow things that were going on yesterday. I don't allow thoughts that maybe came to my mind while I was sleeping, or issues that I'm going through with other things. I don't allow that to determine how I feel when I wake up. And now you know that when you wake up in the morning, some of the times you can feel a certain way. I just got over a major cold, and I can tell you that every day, unless it was a work day, I still got up and I did a workout. And every time after I did that workout, having the sweat and just moving my body, sitting on that exercise bike and you know, pumping out the pedals, that I felt better after that. Even though I would still end up having that coughing attack, because it was just, you know, it has the cold has to go through its course, has to run its course. But I would work out, and it was the funny thing that would happen is that during the workout, I didn't even cough. Like during the whole workout, and I was exerting a lot of energy, I didn't cough. It was mainly when my body relaxed is when I started coughing again, and that was when around bedtime. So when you think about that, with the way that our body and our mind works, is that potentially when you're going through things and your body starts to relax and you start to kind of wind down throughout your day, certain things can come into your mind, and you have to be very careful. That's why I tell people, be careful about what you allow on the inside, from news, from other individuals. You have to be very careful, because what they're doing is they're actually programming you. So now what I want to kind of show you is, this is like an illustration of what happens to us on a daily basis. And I'm going to give you two point of views. I'm going to give you the point of view of what other people see and how they can see you. And I'm going to also talk about the reasons why they could see you a certain way, and you don't think of yourself being that way, and that people can treat you a certain way, and I'm going to tell you that you actually give them that permission to treat you that way. And then I'm going to talk to you about what you see, because two individuals can see the same thing and see it different. We all know that. They're like, that's why people argue. They're like, hey, no, I believe that it should be this, and they say, no, I believe it should be that. But you're arguing over the same thing, and you're both seeing the same thing, but you're seeing it in a different way. And the reasons why you see it in a different way, I'm about to explain. So now, when you see something that a lot of people don't understand, and I understand this because I went to hypnotherapy school, and I learned a lot about how the mind works. And I can tell you that what we see, what you see, is sometimes the result of this, that it's not actually, you're not actually seeing the same thing that other people see. Now, did you know what you see, is a product of your current thoughts, your experiences, your habits, and your fears, and other things. But I just want to keep the video from being too long, I just wanted to just briefly talk about these things. So when I'm coaching an individual on business, and including myself, when I was getting myself going with business, one of the things that, the things that I had to overcome was, number one, the thoughts. When I say the thoughts, is what did I think about my own capabilities? Because when you think and you're going to open up a business, the first thing you're going to start thinking is in your mind is what you're going to go back to that computer in your mind and say, what do I know about this? What do I know about building a business? And your own thoughts and your experiences can hold you back from either going forward, or it can allow you to move forward, because maybe you grew up in a family where people were risk takers and they were like, hey, go for your dreams, you should go for it. Or maybe you lived in a family where they didn't go for their dreams. Maybe the family, it was always these limited type of thoughts that were being passed around, like money doesn't grow on trees, or money is the root of all evil, or money, you got to go work 9 to 5 to make money, like these limiting types of thoughts, and that's in your mind. So even when you go out and you try to start a business, and this individual has that same successful business that you're trying to do, they're seeing it a different way. They're seeing how to do that thing a different way, because of all of their thoughts, experiences, and habits and fears are different from yours. So they're looking at that same thing, and you could meet with this individual and they're like, well, why aren't you pushing your business? Why aren't you successful? I'm successful. And then you start to go back to say, well, I'm not. You say this in your mind. You don't say this to them. Some people do. I did have some people did say it to me when I coached them, and I would tell them, this is what you got to do. And I'm glad when people say it out loud, because then that means that they're consciously ready to accept the teaching. So they'll say, well, in their thoughts, I don't have the same opportunities that you had. I don't have the same experiences that you have. Your parents may have did this for you. I don't have the same habits. I have to, do these certain things because of either my physical ability or my mental. I'm not as smart as you. I don't know how to study. I don't know how to do the things over and over and over again like you know how to do. Or I'm fearful, because the lack of experience, the lack of money, these things can bring up fears. And so that individual will see that same thing different. And then let me give you another thing. This individual, let's just say that they don't say anything about their fears and everything, that they continue to try to do stuff, but they're not getting anywhere. They're not solving any problems. They're not building their business. That allows this individual, when they see this person, they see this individual different than what this individual thinks of themselves. And that's where a big clash comes in. Have you ever went to let's just say it this way, this might be easy because everybody know, talking behind somebody's back. So you have a friend and you talk with them, and you're thinking y'all are buddy, and then you hear that friend said something about you to someone else that you knew, and it got back to you, and you're like wondering, I just had a conversation with you. I thought that you understood me, and then you went to somebody else and said this about me. And let me tell you the reason why that happens. It's because that individual sees you different than the way that you think you are. And the reason why they see you different is because you are sending out signals, subconscious signals, that you are either not comfortable with yourself, that you're not confident, that you have all of these types of problems. Maybe you even talk to them about your problem. When you talk to people about your problems, you are, they always talk about where you sit on the couch and talk about your problems with a therapist and stuff like that. I want to tell you, you got to be, in this my own opinion, you got to be very careful about who you talk about your problems with. Talking with a professional, okay. talking about your problems all the time with your friends makes them see you as your problem. They don't see you as who you think they see you as. That's why when you go around your friends or they say, well, why didn't you call me? You know, y'all went on out to dinner. Why didn't you call me to go out to dinner? I would have wanted to go out to dinner. The reason why they don't want to call you to go out to dinner is because the way that they see you is just a big problem. I just actually let go of 2 employees with one of my companies because every day that I came in, they thought of themselves a certain way, but the way that they were, by what they did with their thinking, their body, the way that their body reacted on a daily basis, exuded to me and other people around the company that they were just a big problem, and they had a problem with themselves. See, I'm the type of individual that I will give people chances as long as you give yourself a chance. But I cannot want you to have something more than you want it yourself. That just doesn't work. Like, this individual could be your coach, and they're like, you can have what you want to have. But if you don't believe it, there's no way that you'll see it the way that they see it. Now, let's talk about how we fix these types of issues. When you wake up in the morning, when you get up in the morning, I'm just going to flat out tell you what I do. Let me tell you what I do. You wake up in the morning and you have to take control of all of this. And I'm going to help you with an example real quick. I want you to think about a situation. Think about the worst situation you ever went through in your life, the worst one. Did you make it through that situation? Of course you did. So what I want you to do is when you wake up in the morning, number one is, I don't care what happened, you need to get your mind thinking of what you want. What do you want? How do you want to feel? Even if you don't feel that way, I want you to start saying, I want myself to feel a certain way. Next thing is, what do you want to do for that day? Not what you feel like doing that day, what you want to do. And we'll say today. What you want to do today. And it has nothing to do with what you feel like, because what you feel like is what you're going to tell yourself how you're going to feel. Even if you're sick, you're going to tell yourself, I'm getting better. And then the way you feel has nothing to do with what you have to do today, what you want to do today. Let's put it on that way, because you might have to go to work. And you see how, think about what I just said. If you don't feel good, but you have to go to work, do you usually go to work? If you don't have any sick days, you go to work, don't you? So that shows you that what you have to do today has nothing to do with the way you feel, that you can separate that in your own mind to benefit yourself, to take advantage of what you can do with taking control of how you think on a daily basis. Now, but I want to also add another thing on a way that you can make this process even go faster. And I do this for myself every night. I put on my headphones and I listen to subconscious reprogramming or subconscious positive thinking programming. Because believe it or not, if you go to sleep and you're thinking negative, it runs like a record in your mind over and over and over and over again. And that's what makes you wake up feeling bad. So what you want to do is you want to take initiative on everything. If you have fears, you want to listen to things that take away fears. If you have bad habits, you want to listen to things that'll make you have good habits. Because a habit comes from thinking. You don't have the habit first. You have the thought that gets you to the habit. So you have a thought, then you have an action, then you have a habit. It's not the reverse. So if you have here, let me just draw it out. A habit can be good or bad. So we'll say plus for bad, for good, and minus for bad. You still have to have a thought. Then you have to have an action. And then you have the habit. It doesn't go the other way around. Like somebody can't just go and throw a bad habit to you. Here, take this bad habit and you just go do it. No, you have to have a thought, you have to have an action, and then the habit. And the thing about it is the action has to be over. So if it's a positive habit, if you're going to have a positive habit, you have to go plus, 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 plus. You have to stack. I call that stacking. And if you're going to have a bad habit, you have to go minus, minus, minus. You have to stack. So no matter what, to make a good habit or a bad habit, the same things have to happen. The thought process, the action, repetitive over and over again makes the habit. That's why a bad habit is hard to get over. And then with people who have good habits, they're like good to go, because it's like, why do you work out every week? Because I've been working out all the time for years. I have that good habit. Why do I wake up in the morning and I'm able to tell myself what I want to do, or remind myself what I want to do, tell myself how to feel, even if I don't feel good physically, and do what I need to do today, even if I have a feeling that I don't want to do it, is because I have a habit that I have the thought and I've done the actions over and over again, which makes me have a positive habit to take care of these things on a daily basis. Not to say that days are going to be perfect, but I can tell you, if you put in this work, you put in this type of work, you deal with this. If you want to listen to the audios, that's a good thing. Make sure you pick the right ones. You can contact me if you want to make sure that you have one done the right way. Sometimes certain people have to listen to themselves. Sometimes people can listen to other people. There's a type of suggestibility test that you can go through to find out which way would work the best for you. But here is what you got to do. And this is a system for doing business, for making yourself successful in business. Because to be successful in business, you're going to have to control your thoughts. You're going to have to get new experiences and put them into your mind and grow those experiences. You're going to have to come up with new habits. You got to get rid of your fears to be able to be successful in business. So everything has to do with everything in life, but this also is a flow chart, a formula for you to especially if you're at the beginning phases of starting a business. This is an excellent place to start, because I always believe that you have to get the foundation down first, and then you're able to build on that foundation. Thank you for your time. To Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of Blue Book MKE. And below this video, pretty soon I'm going to be launching my 5-day challenge, where I will show you how to build your business to $50,000 in 1 year's time if you follow the recipe. It doesn't matter what business you have. Maybe you have a business that's doing 50,000 and you want to get it to 100,000. I will show you the exact formula that I use for all 4 of my very successful businesses. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video. Please post your questions and comments.